Well, I want to actually start with how you found women's music. As a uh, young woman, how did women's music and feminism come into your life?
Well, I'm 66, right? So I went to college 1972, 1976, and I remember the summer between senior year and high school. I came out as a gay woman in high school, and am honored to say that I helped founded the first Cincinnati. I grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio. The first active gay organization in Cincinnati, Ohio, when I was in high school,
No.
and then when I went to Bard, I was also one of the founding members of the first gay and lesbian club, as it were, at Bard College.
Okay.
And it was we had consciousness raising groups, and I'm a child of the 60s and the 70s, and the ferment of radical innovation and activism was part of the world. This was the womb that I grew up in. And so, I had how shall I put it? I don't want to say advantage, but I had the self-consciousness around the fact that I was a gay woman in high school. And I didn't have a big struggle about coming out.
Okay.
It wasn't a fraught experience for me particularly. I've had other fraught experiences in my life around other issues, but that wasn't really one. I just kind of knew who I was there. And I grew up being imprinted by music. I grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio, which is the birthplace of the second oldest opera company in the United States, and there's a conservatory there. And my mother took me to symphony and opera since the time I was 5 years old, and so I was deeply imprinted with music as a vehicle of powerful expression. And so I remember like the first time I heard Lavender Jane Loves Women. I was at a party, and in those days, you gathered around the record player and we were listening to this, and we were all like, what the fuck, man? This is my music. This is my story. This is being told. And so, and then it just grew and grew and grew and grew. It took off like a contagion, really. It was, and in those days, we have to remember, it was pre-internet, of course. So it was all about word of mouth. And you get together and you listen to this music. And
Yes.
so it was a powerful, powerful experience of how the story of who you are is being played out in the musical life, and you hear your experience literally in the music that's taking on. And it was, it's a legacy. And even now, a lot of young lesbians or people that are even my age, they don't really know about this whole foundation of women's music, women producing their own music, Olivia Records. Some crossover like Holly Near, people know her, but the ferment and diversity of it and the reach of it was profound. And it's a foundation, and it's a foundation that, contemporary, like somebody like Katie Lang, all of this,
Stands on top of it.
It does. There's a whole thing called the morphogenic field, which is the foundational energetic field, and then how that evolves. And the next people come in already with that energy foundation laid. And so much of the music that's contemporary now, and women who have so much diversity of recognition, still a struggle, was influenced by the foundation of the legacy of women's music and how it evolved. And for me, it was a catalyzing experience that led me partly to my work as a music producer today. Not only, I have other influences, but that was a foundational one.